Good evening, students. How are you all doing? Come on, quickly type your responses in the chat box. How are you doing today? That's great. It's good to hear from all of you. So let's start our session today, okay? Today we are going to learn about information transfer. Okay, can you type information transfer in the chat box for me, everybody? That's great. So, what is information transfer? Does anybody know what is information transfer? Information transfer is to put written texts into another form, such as chart, grid, picture, table, or diagram, or vice versa. Okay. Do you know how many types of information transfer are there? Now that you know what is information transfer, can you tell me the different types of information transfer? You can guess, okay? Anything is fine. Quickly type your responses in the chat box. I already gave you a hint. Chart, grid, pictures. What do you think it is? Okay, so now let's see the two types of information transfer. So there are two types of information transfer. The first one is verbal to non-verbal, and the second one is non-verbal to verbal. Okay, quickly type it in the chat box, everybody. Great. Now let us see verbal to non-verbal. Okay. In verbal to non-verbal, we change information from one form to another form. That is from linguistic form to diagrammatic form. Can you type that for me in the chat box? Linguistic to diagrammatic form. Okay. Come on, students. Can you tell me what are the different types? Yes, correct. Great job. Now let us discuss the types of diagrams. Okay, are you ready for that? Quickly type ready in the chat box. Great. So there is tree diagram, there is flow chart, pie chart, and tabular form. Can you type it? Tree diagram, flow chart, pie diagram, and tabular format. Okay, now let us see what they are and how they are drawn. Okay, the first one is tree diagram. So tree diagram is used in classification of data, structure, hierarchy, etc. It has branching like tree-like structure. Tree diagram begins with a keyword, as you can see on the screen. Keywords, then there is category 1, category 2, and then subcategories, right? Okay, so keyword is at the top position. Correct? Can you type tree diagram in the chat box? That's great. Now let's look at the next one. The second one, that is flow chart. Now tell me, what do you see on the screen? Any wild guesses, anybody? So flow chart is used to describe a process of chronological sequence or step-by-step activity, as you can see on the screen, right? Flowcharts usually include a heading, few boxes of equal sizes, and arrow marks in between them to indicate the flow of ideas. As you all can see on the screen, start, stage 1, and then stage 2. It can be lengthier also. All right. Now let's look at the next one, that is pie diagram. Can you type it in the chat box for me? Pie diagram. Okay, pie diagram is used to show relationships between part and the whole. Okay, pie chart is a circular statistical graph showing different parts. As you can see on the screen, there are different parts of the circle, right? It is divided into different slices. Again, this is very visible on the screen. All the parts are labeled. Okay, now let's look at the last one. All right, are you ready for that? What is the last one? Can anybody guess? Yes, it is the table or the tabular form. Okay, table is a simple and clear form of diagrammatic representation. Okay, it is a simple form of diagrammatic representation. Data is arranged in rows and columns. Okay, what does a table consist of? It consists of rows and columns. Okay, students, when you're drawing all these diagrams, you need to remember a few things. Okay, whenever you're drawing or making a pie chart or tree diagram, you have to follow certain pointers. Okay, let's look at what these pointers are. The first one is always use an HB pencil to draw these diagrams. Okay, avoid use of color pencils. Use an eraser to wipe out any mistakes that you have made. Use your compass to draw a pie chart so that we have a perfect circle. Okay, write your information in pen. Okay, now let's look at the second category. Okay, verbal to non-verbal information. Let's practice. Okay, what you have to do is I'll read a short paragraph for you, and then we will change the content of that paragraph into non-verbal format, that is to a tabular form. Okay, so let us talk about trees. Let us talk about types of trees. There are two types of trees. Now think about it very carefully. Listen to it, okay? And we'll fill in the blanks, okay? Make sure you listen to this paragraph very carefully, okay? Let us talk about types of trees. There are two types of trees based on their leaves, deciduous and evergreen. Evergreen trees carry their leaves throughout the year, whereas deciduous trees lose their leaf color and shed them usually during autumn. Deciduous trees have broad leaves and evergreen trees have narrow types of leaves, all right? Oak, maple, woody vines are examples of deciduous trees, and eucalyptus, hemlock are examples of evergreen trees. So now what you can see on the screen is a tabular format. Can you see deciduous and evergreen? Deciduous has broad leaves. They shed their leaves in autumn. All the details are mentioned here, right? Can you see it? Now let's move on to the next type of information transfer, that is non-verbal to verbal. Okay, in non-verbal to verbal, it is changing of information from one form to another form, that is from diagram to, think about it. Think about it and type your answers. What do you think we change it to? Diagram to linguistic format. Very correct. Can you type it for me in the chat box, everyone? Quickly with the arrow marks, okay? Okay. Now, students, please keep in mind the following points when you convert a diagram into a paragraph. Write an appropriate title always, okay? It is one of the most important things, okay? Incorporate all the points in your paragraph. Use appropriate vocabulary and good grammatical structures. Now let's look at an example of non-verbal to verbal transfer. Are you all ready? Can you see it on the screen? What do you see? Oil, and it is divided into groundnut oil, vegetable oil, mineral oil, and then further classified into different categories, right? So students, can you tell me what this diagram is about? Can you type it in the chat box? Yes, it is about classification. It is a tree diagram and it is about oil and types of oil. Now let us see how can we convert this into a paragraph. Look at it very carefully. I'll give you 5 seconds and then we'll write it in a paragraph, okay? All right. So let us talk about different types of oils. The three types of oils are groundnut oil, vegetable oil, and mineral oil. We get groundnut oil from groundnuts and it is used in cooking. Okay, flowers give us vegetable oil and it is used in making of scent, medicine, and also soaps. From the crust of the earth, we get mineral oil, which is used in driving machines and industries. Great work. So students, now that you know how to convert a paragraph into a diagram and vice versa, let's look at converting a passage into a tabular format. Okay. First, I am going to read out the passage for you, and then we will together fill in the blanks and create a table. Okay. Make sure to listen to me very carefully. All right. This is also a check of your listening skills. The first one is Summer and rainy seasons are the most important seasons in our country. We have the summer season from the month of February to May, and the rainy season from June to September. In summer, the climate is hot, and in the rainy season, the climate is cool, fresh, and sometimes humid. People experience sweating in summer season, and in the rainy season they catch a cold and suffer from some ailments. Summer season, the trees dry out and the greenery is lost. But in the rainy season, there is greenery everywhere as the trees are filled with leaves of different shades of green. Okay, hope you all have heard the passage carefully. All right, now let's complete the missing sentences. Okay, let's fill in the blanks. Are you ready? So the first part is duration. Okay, from the passage you can see that duration for the summer is from February to May. Now students, can you tell me the duration of rainy season? Think about it carefully. What is the duration of rainy season? Yes, that's right. It is from June to September. Correct. Let's look at the next one. The climate is cool and fresh in the rainy season. Now, can you tell me how is the climate in the summer season? Think about it carefully and type your responses in the chat box, everybody. How is the climate in summer season? Yes, that's right. The climate in summer season is hot. Now, from the passage, you can see that the effect of summer is sweating and heat. What is the effect of rainy season? Think about it. You all heard the passage very carefully, right? Think about it and type your answers in the chat box. Yes, that's right. In the rainy season, people catch cold and some ailments. All right. Now, in summer season, the greenery is lost. Correct? What do you think happens in the rainy season? Yes? What do you think happens in the rainy season? That's right. In rainy season, there is greenery everywhere. Well done, everybody. You all have performed really well, and I am sure you all have enjoyed the activity, right? You all remember the passage carefully. I'm very proud. Okay, so now I hope you all have enjoyed the session. Did you enjoy the session? Put in a thumbs up. That's great. With this, it is time for us to fill out the Google form and test our knowledge. Okay, so what do you have to do? You have to click on the link that is in the chat box, fill in all the details carefully, select the correct answers. All the questions are based on what we have studied today. All right, and then once you're done submitting, put in a thumbs up in the chat box so that I know you all have submitted the forms. Okay. Click on the link that is given in the chat box, fill in all the details correctly, select the correct answers, and then submit the form. Once you're done submitting the form, give me a thumbs up in the chat box so that I know you all have submitted the form. Quickly do that. I'll give you 5 seconds to do that. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done, everybody. I can see a lot of thumbs up. That's great. So that is it for today's session. I'll see you in the next class. Till then, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And also make sure to share it with your friends so that they know a lot more about information transfer. See you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody.